We are all set to watch Dil Bechara, the very last film of Sushant Singh Rajput. As I talk about him, it's been over a month from the day he passed on. There is still no clarity on what exactly went so wrong that we lost such a bright talent and an amazing human. What is emerging though that it was not a case of suicide as was touted by the media from the very second the news of his demise went public. Loss of a beloved actor in such a mysterious manner has blown the lid off of the festering bile of Bollywood. In an effort to find closure or maybe perhaps make some sense of this at a time when the police is meandering at best, many issues have come into public awareness. I remember when we were living abroad, an effort was made to watch Bollywood films to show our love for what we felt was ours. Sadly, my eyes have opened to the filth now. The industry exploits young talent, and I have not heard of not one film where all the crew was paid fair wages and was not pushed into working cruel long shifts. Usurping credits is rampant as well. Scripts are lifted, songs are stolen, stories snatched from struggling writers in this dirtbag of unprofessionalism. A lot of noise has been made about nepotism. I would call the phenomena existing here as a vicious, greedy clique where mafia like big production houses rig the system to ensure that the ticket earnings and their monopolized world stays in their tentacles. Smaller films, independent ventures are sidetracked or hijacked. If such a film is doing well, suddenly the movie halls would drop the movie under duress from the big production houses and show it only in far off cinema houses at odd timings till the collection drops to render the film a flop. So, when you notice an independent or small budget film doing well, be very sure that it would be an amazing watch because, along with all the normal hurdles, it has survived the pushback of the greedy cliques as well. Incidentally, Sushant Singh Rajput was no stranger to this. His movie Drive, that is streaming now, is one such case where a production house gave a film away, maybe to cut an actor to size or perhaps to meet some commitment deadline, totally overlooking the consent of the team. An independent filmmaker has to make sure that he or she does not step on in any fat toes vis-a-vis release dates, choice of crew, because they cannot afford to hire someone that one of the clique bigwigs is upset with. Otherwise, they would be squashed without a trace. People always say that Bollywood is a great leveler where the box office decides the fate of the talent. Really, please consider this. Can you remember one memorable performance of Abhishek Bachchan? Okay, one possible performance where he could stand on his own with the collective might of other possible actors? I cannot. And yet, guess how many films he has done till date? 64. And not one hit on his own merit. Not one. He's still working. Even in lockdown, you can have the pleasure of watching him on an OTT series. Then let's remember Arjun Kapoor. Such an expressionless actor. It kills me to call him an actor. 14 films and 14 flops. Total dismal flops. Yet he continues to get more work. Uday Chopra did 16 films in spite of the box office screaming again and again that it could not take any more of his talent. And yet 16 films. Sonam Kapoor has done 20 films. Almost all are huge flops. The only hits are Bhag Milka Bhag, where Farhan Akhtar made the mark, and I cannot forget the work of Divya Datta in it. Prem Ratan Dhan Payo, an out and out Salman Khan film, and Nirja. 9 were so bad they sank without a trace. And she is still doing films. Who gets such a platform in any industry? Shahid Kapoor, 32 films, gave his first okay film after 10 resounding flops. Well, he can stake claim perhaps to 3 or 4 hits. And do you recognize Tushar Kapoor? 40 films, I kid you not. Only 3 hits in this ensemble cast movies. If an actor like Sushant Singh Rajput was given space to shine, who would have watched these idiots? In a group of cardboard actors, he was a consummate artist who had the guts to say no to Sanjay Leela Bhansali's 2 films because he wanted to work with Shekhar Kapoor in a film called Pani. Another eye popping revelation that has come up is the involvement of the underworld, Pakistan based mafia in the Bollywood industry. We have all heard of sick creeps like Kareem Lala and Haji Mastan, who have been immortalized by their loyal subjects in Bollywood by making ode like romanticized films based on their lives. Highly delusional, of course. Dawood Ibrahim has ruled the roost, using his black money to finance films and using the movie medium to push his narrative and ensure good PR. Please watch Black Friday and notice whose names were cleared in that movie. Or watch Sanjay Dutt's biopic to see how he is given a complete clean chit. The Pakistan based ISI controlled underworld uses Bollywood like pawns. For example, Rehan Siddiqui is a US based Pakistani concert organizer who makes thousands and thousands of dollars and clout thanks to our Bollywood stars, whom he uses for anti India propaganda. The going was tough for Sushant. His Kai Poche and Kedarnath director Abhishek Kapoor called it systematic dismantling of a fragile mind. Every dirty trick in the book was tried to finish him off. From blind articles written by Rajiv Masand or Mumbai Mirror or Bollywood Life or DNA. Blind articles are out and out vicious lies which the writer is too scared to say on the face of the accused. So hyena like hirelings of big production houses leveled all sorts of false charges on him to finish his career. And since these were blind pieces, Sushant could not respond. In rampant reports, Sushant was being accused of sexual misconduct under the hashtag #MeToo movement with Sanjana Sanghi, his co-star in Dil Bechara. These reports became so strong that Twitter took off Sushant's verified stamp. Eventually, Sushant took the matter in his own hands and shared the link to his private chats with Sanjana Sanghi. After a couple of weeks, Sanjana tweeted that this information of misconduct was incorrect. Why did she take so long to clarify her co-star's name? Because she was in the US. And US perhaps is in the deep jungles of Borneo where no internet connection is possible. But now she's jumping with excitement because she will ride on the success of Sushant's talent and the love of his fans. Even the first time movie director Mukesh Chabra, who Sushant had agreed to work with without even hearing the script, was not vocal enough against these false allegations. How I wish Sushant had dragged these false accusation makers to court. Hotstar did not step up to buy the film where Sushant was alive, but after his passing away, and noticing the power of his admirers, they bought the rights for their ghoulish profiting. Once you watch his stunning performance in Dil Bechara, you will know why the movie was stalled. These talentless twits were shitting their pants and didn't want the film to be released, not even on OTT. Now, the streaming of this film will break all records. Just like the trailer broke the record of the Hollywood Armageddon Infinity Wars. Please watch this film with the understanding that Dil Bechara is a Sushant Singh film. It does not belong to anyone who worked in whole or in part to emotionally lynch him. Going forward, let's choose where to spend our money carefully. Let's see that we don't allow shining, happy, curious, brave star to be dragged down by the vampires again. Never again.